is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Nairobi.
Good morning to you. It is 9 minutes after 8 o'clock, and we get into the third hour of our conversation this morning. And I know, I thought about it actually.
Yep.
And in terms of what it is how we should be having conversations, where it is our role to inform, to break the news, to educate and entertain. That, there comes a time where you don't just follow what the pack is doing.
Yep.
But there are things to inform and educate about, then perhaps we should actually be doing just that. The very basic pillars of society in which you operate, if they're not functioning or if they are functioning, talk about them. And then do we have an opportunity to move the needle when it comes to certain things to be done? And that story bothered me, man. Because if we're looking at the capitation of 22,000, just before we get into this conversation, we have to talk about it. That where we understand that at some level, high school, secondary school here, that capitation stands at 22,447 shillings. We understand that 5,000 shillings is withheld at the Ministry of Education
for development.
And development in this case could be anything from dormitories to classrooms to purchasing of whatever the case may be, water. So we understand that what you're going, even if you said that 22,000 shillings is capitation, that more or less is that 17,000 shillings essentially will go to students.
Yep.
But what you're telling us now is that schools have been receiving over the years much less than that. And I don't want to understand the rationale as to why that is the case. I do not want to know why you would have to not give that money. I want to know what you expect schools to do when you don't send that money to them. Because the burden more often than not goes back to the parents who already do not have. Those are the things that we should be talking about and interrogate and pick until we get to the core of the problem and say, this is where we are and this is what needs to be done about it.
I mean, one would even ask the question, what is the promise of the future when you're not taking care of the basics today that would guarantee you that future? When the future here is having a resource, having that army that is prepared. Yet all you're doing is not preparing, training them for that war that is ahead, which is economic liberation. What exactly are you doing?
The question must be asked.
Yeah.
The question must be asked. All right. We're going to get into our conversation for this hour. And it was to be two. Let's see how that goes. Rallies Goons in 2027. Dr. Peter Mbae is Secretary for Planning and Economic Affairs with the DCP party, and he joins us this Monday morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
I'm well, I'm fine.
Yes.
We thank God for life. We thank God for health. That's very important.
It is.
The less of things, they come. But, being healthy and full of life, we thank God every day.
Every day.
Preservation is everything.
Yes.
Indeed. It is. A very good morning and karibu sana. We're going to get into this conversation. Just before we do, Dennis is going to share today's proverb and he'll tell you where it's from.
Today we are in Mauritius, a country of 1.3 million people. Is huge when you talk in terms of the tourism, financial services, manufacturing and agriculture. It is also a port city, Indian Ocean. Fishing as well is huge in the country. But the proverb that I get from them this morning, wrong doesn't become right and evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by a majority. How would you interpret it?
Wrong does not
become good and evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by a majority.
I want to imagine that there are sometimes you can do bad things, wrong things, and it becomes like a sort of the norm. Mm-hmm. The more you do something, then it's accepted generally by many people. But that doesn't mean because it looks like the norm, it is the right thing to do. Sometimes the conscience of a society can just be blunt. It goes, and you normalize things, for example, like goonism. And everybody everybody should have a goon. Every political formation should have, because it is the in thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it is the right thing to do. And what we are saying, for example, we need a generation, for example, and I'm giving that an illustration, of leaders who believe, doesn't mean because everybody is a goon, or every politician has goons, or everybody must lie, those kinds of politicians are accused of lying so they can get votes. It is possible to have leaders of integrity, people who have what I call political hygiene. You can simply go and tell people who you are, and they elect you without going through the old path of having thugs, goons, lies, like the ordinary common day politician. That's what I think. We should not normalize bad things just because they look like the norm. We should go back and say, what is the right thing to do? Who should be a political leader? Who should be a political leader? Is it somebody who must have thugs, who must lie, who must go bribing? No, I don't think so.
We can't do the right thing.
Yeah.
Well interpreted.
Indeed. Okay, so it seems that this is accepted, this Goonism, and what we've been told is that everybody has them. So why is one side a little bit more upset when the other wields their goons?
I don't think so. Let me tell you today. I'm a secretary for planning the DCP party. I sit in the senior hierarchy of the party. Right now, I've just come from Nakuru, this morning, where we had all those kind of issues in two separate meetings. I will say from the word go today here, our party and most of the opposition parties I know don't have goons. My party and many of those opposition, so it's not the way I hear in the media. The government, when they are told they have goons, they say, even the other side. So when people are making statements, they say, both sides. Which both sides? We don't have goons. We don't have goons. Our party and most parties in the opposition do not have goons. Goonism is, let me put it this, it's a modus operandi by this government when they have failed to deliver what they promised to deliver 4 years ago. Then they use goons and violence as a means of survival. And the aim is very simple. Put it all the way to next year. Try to scare away some people. Voter suppression. Some people will not vote and all that. And maybe use that as a means of if they lose the power, they try to negotiate that for Nusumkate. So it's a tool being used by this government. Excuse me, please. The issue of Goonism and violence for record and credibility is a tool used by the government against its own people. It is not. It's nowhere where the opposition have goons.
Dr. Ari, we look at the political games being played right now, and we have started seeing political leaders wearing helmets. We've seen even vehicles being modified just so that people are able to be safe in those vehicles. And while at that, politics ought to be a game where it is agenda and how you convince people and your strategy pretty much that would end up there. Why are we seeing Goonism and violence in one way or the other becoming a strategy as we approach 2027?
Let me say this, and I want to say this very particularly, and I'm a son of this country, right? I want to say this without authority. I wish to condemn in the highest terms possible. And I'm saying that knowing that I am a member of one of the leading political parties. Myself, I'm an aspirant for Senate in Nakuru. I want to condemn in the highest terms possible that you can send young people. As a leader, you are supposed to help them, empower them, right? You use young people who you are supposed to help as a leader to empower their lives, to literally set them to the front line to go and die with stones and bars and all the kind of thing. It is so retrogressive you cannot believe it. First of all, from the word go. Number two, I want to condemn the attack, especially, okay, fine. If the government must fight opposition leaders for some reason, if they must, then why attack the media? The media are simply storytellers. They will go, if you want to do bananas, they will go and say, you are planting bananas. If they want to come and hear you are connecting electricity, they will do it. Media literally goes and listens to government people. I see them on media being interviewed about whatever they have been doing. If you cannot kill a story by simply crashing and stoning, and you see it is something targeted. It started in Onkalau. It happened in Nakuru. It has happened in Homa Bay. Can I tell you what? Don't tell me it's a coincidence. Don't tell me they were caught. No, there's nothing like being caught. Nobody doesn't know that this is media. Kindly, Mr. President, you are the commander-in-chief. I will appeal to you directly. 4 years ago, you are the darling of the media. What happened? What happened? I mean, you are the darling of the media. Please stop. Don't tell us they were caught in the crossfire. Nothing like that. That's a direct attack on the media so that they don't carry the story. But you see, you cannot, by stoning one vehicle, doesn't mean the story will not go out. It will go out either way. So it's a zero-sum game. That's number 2. But number 3, in a nutshell, before I come to your question, quickly, let me say this. I want to tell the government, and by the way, by saying government, I have heard people saying, appealing to IG Kaja, Mokome. No, the buck stops with one man in this country. The whole issue of goonism and violence stops on one man, the President of the Republic of Kenya, who is a CIC and who sworn by the Constitution to protect lives and property. This story of IG Kanja, please, you are beating the wrong man. He doesn't know what's happening. Mokome is a messenger.
Oh my God!
Yes, no.
Dr.
According
Mbae.
to the Constitution,
Dr. Mbae.
IG Kaja is the one in charge, but practically he is not.
You said he doesn't know what he's doing.
I
What does that mean?
can tell you something.
That doesn't foster a situation of confidence in the hearts and minds of many Kenyans.
One thing I like about Orengo, what he said, which may make sense, because he's the one in charge. Governor Orengo said he's going to sue him personally. That's a good thing because he's the one to be sued. When people, Amnesty International, I saw that, Editors Guild saying, we are appealing to Kanja. That appealing does not work. If you really want to put Kanja on whatever, go sue him. That is action. But he's not in charge. Mokome is just a messenger. Everything lands from number 1 of this republic, the CEO, who the buck stops with.
Let me get it clear. Let me get it clear on what you're saying.
Yes.
Essentially, is that over the last 6 to 7 months, easily since January, that we have a number of cases of where goons have infiltrated, whether they be rallies. We had, a sacrosanct place of the church where goons came into church. I think last year, the Kenya Human Rights Commission is where people then were manhandled during rallies. We see people being injured and being scared. What you're telling me is that the president is well aware of these things and has allowed them to happen. And these individuals, whether it's the CS Interior, the PS National Administration, the IG of Police, the Deputy IG, whether it be administration or whether it be, the other side, all of these people have no control over the situation and that they're just allowing things to slide because it's the desire of the president. Is that what you're saying?
Thank you very much. What I'm saying is exactly what you are saying. Please, let's not go all over the place. This is a very sensitive year. We must tell each other the truth. The buck stops with the president. Nothing happens in this country without the consent, especially anything to do with security. The president is involved directly. The way he was involved directly with the campaigns for Kalau, all the mattresses, he cleared them. He cleared mattresses, boats there. He was the one in charge of the campaign. So the same thing. He is the one who knows all these kind of things, and that's what I'm saying. Even the signal to attack the media, it was not a crossfire. They were not caught on crossfire. No, I refuse. I was there when the media in Nakuru was attacked. It was not a crossfire. It was targeted. When you see this media, these are the guys who are going to film all this. Attack them. Now, let me tell you, there is a parallel system in this country, a security parallel system. Operates from the president, goes to the CS, goes to DIG. Did I say IG? No, DIG. It's a network of a parallel system. And has been, of course, of course, PS also. That's been agreed since we are not able to plead anymore. To plead anymore with the people to love us. Let's try violence. It is there. Me, I will not come and say, I'm pleading to the Mokome, I'm pleading to stop. I will not plead them to stop. Do you know what will happen? It is the power of the people that will stop this violence. Just like happened in Kalau. It is the power of the people. I'm not here to come and begin saying pleading. Because the personality and the character of the president and the people leading us, it is predisposed towards violence. So begin appealing to them or praying for them. It will not work. It is simply, there is something else. Number 3, I want to make a very, very special observation. This is what is going to happen, let me tell you. I want to tell the government, these goons you are breeding, okay? These young people you are paying 1,000, 2,000 to go, Salga, Nakuru West, Homa Bay, wherever, the other day in Bomet. These young people you are breeding. You are breeding a dinosaur that will come and eat you. I can tell you this today. All these people, they know your homes. The day they will get hungry, they don't have money, and you have been giving them money to run errands, and then there will be no errands. They will come to your home, they will camp there, okay? And they will demand money. And if you don't give them money, they will rob you. and they can kill you. And finally next year, they will not vote for you. I can tell you. Violence begets violence. The same people you are using, they will turn against you. Because you want to make it look like you are so clever. You have young people here. You are supposed to empower them. You go put them on the harm's way. You are not going to be lucky.
Dr. Whether you apply violence or not, whether you put barricades to stop people from getting to their venue where they want to address Kenyans, truth will forever be the truth. Yesterday in Mbae County, proper roads, highways were blocked, but the periphery roads that ought to be tarmacked, Kenyans had an opportunity to see the actual condition of the roads that are in that county. Whether you want to barricade roads or stop people from having conversation, if healthcare is not working, it is not working.
It's not.
Whether capitation has not gotten to schools, capitation has not gotten to schools. Whether we're talking about security of the country where goons are being seen, security of the country, it has gone to the dogs. It's a reality. So to what end then would one want to camouflage or cover all these things, yet Kenyans are living through them every other new day?
Now, I'll tell you why. What you're asking is that why would the government, therefore, continue on this long journey, yet conversations are still happening? Good. There's something that happens when people are in power. Oh, and money stored there in boxes. Oh, there is some energy, you know. The blood moves faster than your blood, you know. When guys are in power and they can see money all over, they are like, the money is trying to provoke them. Please do something. Use me nicely. Do something. I'm just telling you because, I've seen all these worlds.
Spend me.
Yes, I've seen all these worlds. I've been there. From school to practice. Yeah? Both county and national, I've seen how people behave, how people change. Let me tell you. So they are like, no, come on. These people need to know we are here, right? These people need to know that Nakuru Town West is our constituency. Longai is our constituency. Homa Bay is ours. We are in broad base and we have the money. You can imagine the amount of money that was splashed on that day. Look here. But incidentally, and by the way, I divert. The other day, John said something, Kagushia. He was pounced on like a criminal, like a bad criminal. And that's why I'm saying, me, I will not come and say, I'm appealing to IG to arrest Karuma. I will not. It will not work. It is what they want. So, Karuma, excuse me, proceed. But let me tell you one thing. This world here, with all the videos, you'll not run away. In another 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, that video will be played and that will be the end of your political career. I can tell you, people are not joking. And that's why you see, right now, people who are dining and whining with the system, eating with the oppressors, they want to come back and say, by the way, I'm now converted. I'm saying, who converted by who? Look at what happened in Gatondo South. People are more dangerous than what you think now. They said, excuse me, but you have been oppressing. You have been eating with the oppressors all through. Where have you been? It's too late. We already moved on. I can tell you, MP Karuma can be happy because he's protected by the system. Okay? So to answer your question, they want to show that they are in power. Let me tell you what will happen in 6 months. The resistance will wear out. I can tell you some of these people shouting loudest that they are in broad-based government, especially in Western and Nyanza. When people go to Christmas and they emerge on 1st of December 2020 or 1st of January 2027, most of them will not be just dumping the way they are doing. The power of the people will catch up with them. It's just for now. I'm giving it another 90 days. Yeah, September, October, November. By November, December, some of this chest dumping you see, you will not see it anymore. Wait until the Sifuna party is registered. And they do another tour with the party. And they begin receiving requests for aspirants. You'll be shocked. Most of these MPs from Western and Nyanza will be knocking on Sifuna's door to be given a ticket. That one I can tell you. So it's just for now. You know the way you are fighting, but you're not sure. So you go, the more you go, the more the power of people come in, the more finally they will discover this thing is not easy. The President William Ruto will be left alone with Rift Valley. I can tell you. Anything Western and Nyanza will go. The spirit of Laila has set upon Sifuna and Babu Wino and Orengo. They will sweep the entire people. Most of these MPs talking, I will not be surprised, even though some of these cabinet secretaries. January, they will not be, because it's about their career or they follow President William Ruto. So it's just a matter of time. I mean, you can come and say, you know, me, I will not allow DCP to talk in Nakuru West, but for how long? The people can see, can hear. Are you going to say the same thing in January? I doubt.
What do you think the people are seeing and hearing?
Very simple. The people are beginning to see, wow, we have the power. Look at Olkalau. And we'll go back there. And I said, like last time, we'll talk about Olkalau for the next many years. It will be spoken, it will be taught in universities and every other conversation. There were two issues about Olkalau. One was money. That money can sway you. But number two, violence. When the vehicles came and they were full of pre-marked ballot papers, the masses simply came and blocked the roads. And they said, if you want to shoot, I don't know how many people of us you're going to shoot. The people are seeing and hearing. That thing is all over the country now that we have the last word. So finally, they are targeting people who are doing violence. They are being marked and they're not going to go far. That's the reality we have right now. And that's the direction we are going to go.
Okay. The direction that people are going to go is the decision that the people want to take. I think we were tasked with a responsibility. And then so now we're asking ourselves the question, what are the issues? What are the issues? Because I think a lot of times what passes through the sieve is those. What are the issues that must be dealt with? Whereas there is a space for the politics where there must be the mudslinging or people have to hate on one another. But then we exist in a space where we're starting to employ things which will take away from the issues. How do we get people to be centered on the issues? Or is that just not in the interest of anybody right now?
No, it is. It is. Let me tell you what will happen. One, what I think, like where we are and where we are going to the next year, we are going to see the people are beginning to understand that there are things being forced on them, right? You know, you are forced to love this thing. You are forced to say two-term and all these kind of things. So people are beginning to crystallize. Now, and they're very particular. You keep on talking here about agendas and all that. Let me tell you, people know what they want. People know that they want a working health system. They want a working education system. They want this routine and corruption to end. This private interest and all this kind of, nepotism and all that in public service. They simply want this issue of debts because they know they are the ones who are going to suffer because of the debt. People know what they want. And people have an idea who can take them to where they want to go. It's very, very simple. So you'll see as we go on, the whole country becomes one. You will not be able to come and say, oh, nyinyi watu wa Kisii, nyinyi watu ya Maasai, nyinyi watu ya Western. All it is everybody. From Mount Kenya to Northeastern to Coast to Ukambani. It's going to be everything. And the movement is, this thing is learning on its own. It has its own, it has its own energy. And the whole movement is coming together. So where you would say, oh, watu ya Mlima, watu wa Kabila, watu wale, it will not be there. It is a whole system moving. Look at what happened like yesterday. One team was there. The other one was in Ukambani, Mama Chakos. The other one was in Gatundu. It is not about one person. It's not about you versus this. It's a whole country against bad leadership.
There is what the people want, and rightfully so you've said, the people know what it is they want. But one must also ask the question, does what the people want resonate with what the political class is saying, or rather is doing, to be on the same page with what the people want? Or is it different from what the political class wants?
If you look at the messaging, now look here, if you look at our messaging as a people in the alternative government, our messaging is very simple. And it's very simple. That look here, 75, I put it at 80 myself, 80% of the problems we have in this country, 80. It is simply because of the president we elected, William Ruto. And we are saying, if we simply remove that president, 80%, because it's about personality and character. You cannot tame somebody who believes that they must overtax you. It is their belief, and they're the president. What do you do? You cannot do something about somebody personality and character of somebody who believes I'm supposed to be imperial president. Okay? It was not a slide. It was not a slip of the tongue the other day. He said, I'll be here 25 years to come. I have been telling you, when the president is coming talking about Vision 2060 and all that, it's not talking about somebody for somebody else. In his mind, it is him he's talking about. How he can manipulate everything. Goes maybe, God forbid, he wins another term, and then extends, and then literally kills the constitution. to rule forever. It is himself. So how can you deal with such a person? I'm talking here with somebody saying, look at the independent institutions. They have to look back whether whatever they are doing, it is acceptable to the men in the system, to government. Now that is what we are saying. The messaging is very simple. 80% of our challenges, and I have told you this before here, and I'll repeat it for the benefit of our viewers. We need just a team to sit down, agree on 10 issues. One is public debt, health, education, right? Issues on corruption and rule of law, constitutionalism. Agree 10 issues. Just like 10 people seated on the table here. Then agree. How do we do it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Education. Can you take a team 5 days? Come us back and announce. It's done. Like what we did in 2002. We don't need so many stories. 80% of the challenges you are going through. Look at the issues of fuel. Look at the issues of increase of electricity. I talked to some because I'm doing something. I'm in the team doing something for DCP on the issues on policies. Alternative policy we are coming up with. Of course, you're going to be launching them around October. I asked one person, look here, guy. No stories. Kenyans are tired. Tell us, is it possible to reduce the price of the cost of electricity? He said, yes. I said, by how much? 40% today. It's all about goodwill. Is it possible to reduce the price of diesel and today, diesel and petrol? He said, yes. By how much? I think 36 settings or 35. It is possible to do these things. So Kenyans know that. And we are telling them, look here. We are telling them, we have been there. We know. We are not talking things from there. Sometimes you are being accused. You talk so much when you're outside. And when you go inside, you find that things are difficult. I'll tell you this.
And that's not the case? Is that what we're saying?
That's what,
DCP,
exactly.
DCP
Opposition is talking things.
Yeah, DCP given an opportunity today would not go in and we will start saying the same things that we're talking about today.
The beauty about being an authority, I'll tell you, do you know the beauty about going through an experience? You become an authority. The issues I'm putting together as a party that under the guidance of the party leader, we are doing that because we know. And because we have been there. And we know the experts. I know who to call to ask, how much can this cost of electricity go down? Because these are things that are there literally. Actually, you make one call to the people in the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, they'll tell you. And these are people we know. So we will not come and say, when we got here, we found things are different. Let me tell you, we have already done a budget. We need 250 billion every year to have universal health coverage. We have already done it already because we have experts. It's not like it's something which is out there and we are here. We have been part of this system. We know where to touch, who to call, and to ask one question. What is our foreign policy? Right? All this confusion about foreign policy. Okay. We know. So these are issues that we are saying. The people are tired. Actually, let me tell you something. It's only that we cannot rush time. I wish elections were was next week.
You think that people will vote today?
Even if elections are held today, Kenyans already know who they don't want to be their president.
All right, let's take a break. We're talking with Dr. Peter Mbae this morning. We'll come back and then find out whether people actually know who they want to be. If people know who they don't want, do they know who they do want? We'll come back and continue with this conversation. Stay with us. Good morning.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Voting in is that we continue in this cyclical behavior of within now a few months people are starting to complain. Kenyans know what they don't want. Do Kenyans know what they want?
Kenyans know what they want very clearly. And before that, allow me, there's a statement here which I heard about by the NCSC, safeguarding the soul of the nation, reject political intolerance, hate and division. Look here. There's something I would want my good friend Bishop Kefawamai to do. Because the other time we got something about the Honorable Kagushia, not even NCIC, DCI pounced on him. So I would want to request Bishop Omai, NCIC should start on its own volition the arrest of Mheshimiwa Karuma. Instead of doing a statement, appealing for peace, tafadhali. Appealing for cohesion, condemning attacks. And you are an actor. The NCC is a big board because it's an act of parliament. Even if they don't have prosecutorial powers, they should recommend tomorrow. They should actually, the statement I wish which they had here was saying, we have immediately recommended, the arrest of Karuma. So that we see there's something happening. This issue of appealing every time, let me tell you, that's why I like Orengo here this morning. He said, me, I'm going to pursue IG Kanja, personally, private prosecution, because in the constitution he's the one who is supposed to never mind, he has no powers to avoid anything. At least that makes sense. I want to say this because we don't want to feel like all the organs are under state capture. We need to see some action. At least let NCIC have another city. This one was a politically correct statement. They should do something else. Now, do people know? They are very clear what they don't want. What Kenyan people don't want going to next year is leaders who still have the issue of greed, accumulation. We used to call it in the political science classes primitive accumulation of wealth. They don't want people who are corrupt, private interest in public programs, nepotism, okay, lining up all your community for jobs and tenders everywhere. You are the father, but you are in every other sector competing with ordinary citizens for business, in every other sector. They want somebody like Mwai Kibaki, who already had grown. He was a father. He had no other intention of, accumulating more wealth at his age. They want somebody who will come and say, excuse me, guys, I swear into zero conflict of interest in my work, zero nepotism, zero the issues of looting and all that. I'm okay with what I have, one house here, one vehicle and all that. Somebody who will come and say, let us work for the people. That is what people want. Now, Kenyans are very clear what they don't want. Kenyans no longer want servant leaders. They want somebody who come and say, look here, guys, I am here because I want to serve you. I want to go all along if I'm a member of the county assembly. And not even not just the president. Member of parliament, senator rather, women rep, the governor, and the president. They want somebody who will come and say, this time round we want servant leaders. And that's why I'm telling people, kindly, we are in August. We have 1 year to go. But remember, party primaries will happen around March. So we have only 6 months to identify your person. Because in many parts of the country, the person who goes through the party nomination will win the seat. So we are telling them, kindly begin now checking also. Don't, because you may have the wrong person here. Imagine this, what I've been telling people. People elected six members, 6 leaders. Go back and check among the 6. Who can you say you can re-elect? You'll be left with 1 or 2, for example, or none. Then begin looking for the 6 or 5 or 4. And look for them very fast, because by December, you must make a decision. Because by January, by the time you go for primaries, in many parts of the country, the person who wins the primaries is the person who will be elected in August. So can we also share this responsibility, Kenyans? Don't say, we are appealing to the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, to give us a good person to elect. No, it is you to give the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua the person you want to give the ticket. It is very simple. Let's push this back to the people. And please stop sympathy. The moment you begin electing somebody, sympathy, this one is, is so and so, let's elect them so that they can help themselves. Please let people come. We have a whole time for people to go to the ground. Be very careful about the character and personality of somebody. Check their background and capacity. I didn't say education. I said capacity. You may not have gone to school to higher levels, but you have some wisdom and you have some calling and passion for leadership. That's what we're saying.
But I think we cannot run away from the responsibility that political parties bear. Because you talk about the nomination process, where essentially what you're doing is that you're giving a ticket to individuals to essentially run their politics on your party platform. Now, if you don't take the responsibility to ensure that the people that you are putting on this buffet, as it were, for them to select from, are people who are worth their mettle, in terms of their knowledge, expertise, understanding, and ideological beliefs, then we have a problem. What it seems like right now, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is that we are scrambling for the numbers because we understand that it's a numbers game, but we're not understanding that it's a values game as well. Yeah. So, which is more important here? And the responsibility that bears on the political party, because you come back to the people when it's already done and dusted. You come and you say, it is this man that we are putting up for this position, but it's already done. You don't involve the people in the nomination.
Now, and that's what I'm saying, the difference is going to happen this time. Okay. And I want to say this very, very authoritatively. We are simply telling the people, decide the leaders you want. Because we have like 5 aspirants in one constituency, for example. We have 5, people fighting for the same women rep and all that and senators. Let people have an idea. And you know what will happen? The party will give you the opportunity to give you the person, to give out to the person that you people want. We cannot. Let me give an example. There are some members of parliament who have been on the other side of the supporting the government for all that time. Then I will give an example of this Mount Kenya thing. Then they are coming back home. The Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, being the party leader and a father figure for that matter, cannot tell you no. He say, "Oh, you want to join? Fine. If you have found that this is a party of the movement and the one you want to associate with." But then he'll tell you, kindly, I send you back to the people. If you have come now, people have been there on the ground. They know you. Look at what happened with your Kalau. There are people who came the last minute saying, "I have money. By the way, I can, with tracks and music and all that." But people are like, "Excuse me, guys, and who are you? Where did you come from?" There's this guy here, okay, who died last time. He was number 2, right? He has been consistent on the ground. He associated with DCP the first day. He was actually the coordinator, the county coordinator of DCP in the whole Nyandarua County. So people are able to see from what we saw in Olkalao. People are able to know, excuse me, who is this person who we can trust? Consistency. He has been there. Their capacity to be able to do a better job than the predecessor. So that one will also apply. I want to say again, if today somebody knocks their door, unfortunately, there was one MP who couldn't get to see the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua to Amunyoro because the people, there were other delegations around there. So when they saw this guy, and they remember what he has been saying, he said, no, it is us who are deciding you are not going to get him. And then that one left, but others are able to see him. He will come and say, fine, welcome, and a cape is put on your head. And then you don't go to the people. It happened yesterday. The man who could not speak to his people, an elected member at the Gatondo South. Guys are like, excuse me, we got done with you long time ago. Because the pronouncement you have been making, it is not possible that you have turned around. But remember also, there are people who the president will send. Give them the blessings, go and vie on DCP. You are my person. And I will fund you even to come back. So there are all those issues which we must be very clear. The buck stops with the voter. I can tell you, the kind of civic education we are doing here, people must agree. I mean, surely, you need to understand what kind of a senator do you need, for example, in Nakuru. You simply, and I'm saying, I'm ready to go for nominations. Myself, being a NEC member. Why? Because I want to lead by example. Other people are there. Please, make a decision. I also be happy to know that you have decided that it is me you need to be your senator by nominating me to be given the certificate. I also want to know, because I want to know whether you have confidence in me. And this is the time to decide that. Kindly let us increase, accelerate civic education on the people.
Dr. It has been said that it has been established rather that it starts wrong. And when it starts wrong, don't expect it to get better. If it starts right, then definitely it will be better. And this is where then everybody is talking about where the country is at today and what must be done for us to say Kenya is on a trajectory that is headed somewhere, Because we talk about now 2060. Okay, sawa, it's good for us to discuss about Kenya's future, but that can't happen without doing an audit of where we're from, what has stopped us from achieving 2030, and how then, even as we're looking forward, strategies that we must put in place for us to not repeat the same mistakes, whether we like it or not. These are conversations that everybody must get involved in on where Kenya wants to go. From the opposition, right? From a united opposition where you belong. What's the promise of security? What's the promise of rule of law, constitutionalism? Because Kenyans are saying the best blueprint there is to take the country forward is by implementing the Constitution and following what the Constitution is saying. What's the promise from DCP that it will not be another promise that will be put aside once you get to office?
Kenyans are very particular on the rule of law and following the Constitution, very particular. And I'll tell you this, like I said, and it's simply one, implement the Constitution. You spoke about beyond 2030 and Vision 2060. Do you know why I'm not excited about that thing, even discussing it? Do you know why? The president himself don't believe in it. Do you see the whole story there? Putting a young there, a man who should be retiring, to come and being taught about 2060. The president simply is using this thing to buy time. People will go around the country, but we are warning them. If you are going to use taxpayers' money, I can tell you, when we smell any use of taxpayers' money, we will stop that thing in the courts in the morning. if they attempt, maybe it is that money that is in shelf somewhere. That one they can use because they already withdrew it to the 6.5 billion. They can use that. But if they are going to use any system that's going to use they are going to use the public money, we are going to stop it. But let me tell you, seated there, the president knew. That's why he called the presser.
Knew what?
Knew about it's a game. Let me tell you what happens. Some game, you put some scheme, like a movie. You put a scheme there so that it come to this conclusion. Then people begin scattering, talking about your Vision 2060.
Okay,
and then you divert them from Luto at 4.
Okay, tell us what you used to do so that we can understand. We know that they're not there anymore. Tell us what you used to do so that we can understand exactly so that we can all have an understanding about how this is, as you say, is a game.
Good. Let me tell you what happens. And you see, we are here because we know the minds of some of these people. The president discovers 9th of August is on a Sunday, the other Sunday, where now Route at 4 will be at the center. Literally, you saw what we did with the DCP. So he comes a week before and tells you guys, oh, my heart is bleeding. The Constitution. He repeated the word Constitution 14 times. And you see, why I'm paid about that presser, it was on a very good day when you guys do news. At 7, you couldn't do news because you are waiting for a special national address. I remember I was on Thika Road and I had to stop my vehicle at a parking because I was running late of time and my phone didn't have charger. So I was using the car charger literally for that 6 minutes. The car had to be on to charge my phone to listen to the special address.
You also wanted to listen?
I must listen. Okay. I am a consumer on anything political in this world. Okay. Anything politics and government, I'm an expert. I have to listen so that I know what to come and say. Finally, the only thing I heard the last minute is I wait for the launching of something on 12th. That is the only thing I heard about that. But he oh, please, now we are in a country, we love the Constitution. I said, how can you love the Constitution that you are mutilating? But anyway, hold on about that. The idea was people don't to focus on Route 4 about the audit of the 4 years. That was the whole idea about the whole issue about talking it before. So you jump Route 4, 9th of August to 12th. And that's why we said ourselves, we have to come and bring you back. Hey, wait a minute. You are running away. Come back to Route 4. The audit of the 20 trillion. The 4 years.
So you know that this is how he...
Of course. Let me tell you. Look here, what happens. President Uhuru is here. I must demonize you as a president so I can get... I can use your failures to jump on and show people you are bad, so I'm elected. You saw that? That's something that he did. Then he says, let us talk about everything. It's about issues. Oh, the manifesto we had. Oh, that manifesto can be studied in Harvard. I can tell you. The manifesto was colorful. 1 million jobs per year for 4 years, 4 million. Those kind of shiny things. 100 dams. Never mind, this is not even Itare Dam. In my home county, it's still stuck. Imagine Itare, the one that has started. Oh, coming and killing laws like the Loni Summit to start it afresh 4 years later. For campaign of the next time. Now, all that thing, use it, hustler versus dynasty, just to help me jump, to help me be elected. The moment I'm elected, all that out. What is my motivation? Governance power and money. Buy everyone one out. People have to beg before me. That is a thinking. So when I tell you the thinking here has nothing to do with Vision 2060. Nothing. He doesn't believe it himself. He wants something that can buy time. People go to Lamu County Hall, go to Machakos County Hall, 47 counties, right? Do something like a BBI to buy time to see whether it can finally help him to have a political movement for next year. Did you hear something called fantasy? Hot air? Illusions? All those terms. I was thinking about them the whole night one day. It's like a fantasy. It's a movie. It's some PR to just confuse you. Kenyans, imagine you today. Because I went to school to come and talk to you one day like this, kind of ignore anything called beyond Vision 2030 or 2060. Let me tell you, even Kibaki did it the second term. Because you have worked the first term, you have gotten a second term, but there's something you are thinking you want to do. That thing, anything about 2030. For the 2 years, we are going to be remaining with 3 years. We'll go back to it. Actually, when we are doing our policy issues on DCP, we have a document here called Vision 2030. We have a document here called Vision, the AU Vision 2060, right? 2063. We have all those documents because it has to be in tandem. So, excuse me, guys, relax. we are going to review, we are reviewing 2030 what has not been done. We're incorporating it in our policies to be able to push it until 2030. But before 2030 comes, which is after next year, we'll now come back with another vision to help Kenya move forward. It is not the business of my president, who is the president of Kenya right now, to do anything about to take us where we are supposed to go. His work is to account for what he has done for the 4 years with our money. Tell us which projects are complete. Commissioned, complete, not in re-inspection. Complete. That is the work of the president for now. Please tell us, out of the 217 projects, right, that were in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, and that we went and presented on his desk, how many are complete? That is the work of the president for now. Anything else is hot air. It's not going to help anybody. And so I'm saying, look at what Hino said. This is very important, Professor Hino. Look here. This is a man they imported. They imported to come and, to convince Kenyans about Singapore. Right? Do you know what he said? Quickly, 4 things. 1, you cannot be anywhere in Singapore. Do you know, first of all, the first thing they said people didn't know? The GDP of Singapore is, I think, $80,000.
Yes.
Kenya is only 2,000. First of all, he was like, 5 guys, you called me here to talk nicely, but me, I don't like to sugarcoat. The first hit, guys were quiet. You cannot go to Singapore without 4 things. The issue of corruption. Let me tell you. Do you know the Spirit of God came upon Obrodinga for once? And he said, I'm tired. I'm tired. This corruption is too much. And wastage of public resources in their own meeting. So he talks about corruption. You cannot go. Corruption today here is too much. Anything you see called the bombers, called the Liloni Summit, called the SGR, it is all private interest and corruption and inflation, including Tara Stadium. Number 2, he spoke about debt. You cannot go to Singapore with the kind of debt. Kenya today has a debt of, I think, we close the year with about 13.5. And you don't know how much more they are going to borrow this year. It is consuming 70 shillings per 100 that we got a revenue. Number 3, quickly, human capital. Kenya is one of the places in Africa and the world that has the best brains, but they are all underutilized. They are all at home. Nothing is going to happen about them. And finally, accelerated economic growth. How can you accelerate economically? Let me ask you. With just a few indicators, because that's what we do every day, about the economic surveys and all that. When the cost of electricity is up there, 700 companies have closed because the cost of energy in Kenya is too high. When the cost of, diesel and petrol is that high, and it's not high because of international standards, I must say from the word go, it's because of corruption and people getting their cuts per liter of fuel. Number 3, how do you economic growth when even business person, we have taxed people, KRA, on their next and their salary. Today, this fund has increased with 4,000. Since the finance bill came to pass. You have charges on M-Pesa. Instead of driving the economy, you want to kill economy. It's not able to do. These people, President Ruto knows. Because he knew, let's buy time. This guy comes, talks about them. He goes back, we begin moving around. Kindly Kenyans ignore those dialogues. People are not interested with the dialogues. People want the implementation of the constitution. The way it is. That's all what people want, and I'm adding where you asked me. People want simply constitution to be implemented. Will you sit down when God helps us to take over power with all our partners? Agree. But before we do that, Kenyans have told us we must do something called restitution.
Okay.
We must have a commission to check what has gone wrong with this government. The issue of land, the public land that has gone, who killed the young people, like from 2024, who was making the young people, who killed Silas Jirongo, who killed CDF Ogora. We have to have a commission first to recover stolen property, to know who killed who, because nobody seems to be sure who was either killed or not. We need to know, first of all. We need to know who killed, then we move forward. But I can tell you, do sit here, because I'll be here every day. Please, it is possible to change this country within days and within weeks. You don't have to wait forever. There is a lot of hope that we have.
He's with DCP Economic Planning. Thank you very much for being here, Dr. Peter Mbae. He's convicted on certain things. Well, let's see how times plays. Thank you so much for joining us in the conversation this morning, folks. Good morning at 9 a.m.
The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spike. This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.